Are you really going to move to Japan now? In the middle of a pandemic. Mana. Assalamu alaikum and hello. So the little intro part that I did, mana, as a little note to all of you, mana means where in Malay. So that's how I'm deciding to start my videos. So today's video is going to be how I moved halfway across the world during a pandemic and how this crazy year has been, 2020. So I'll start back last year when I was applying for the job that I'm currently doing here in Japan. So I applied for it last year, and I thought to myself, yep, if I'm gonna live abroad again, this would be the time to do it. I was starting to get more settled, resettled in my life in Vancouver. Just a little introduction. So this is my second time living in Japan. I used to live in Kumamoto Prefecture for 3 years, and I really loved it there. However, this is my first time living in Tokyo. And it is also my third time living abroad. I used to live in Korea around 10 years ago. So I thought to myself, you know what? If I want to live abroad again, I should not waste any more time, and I should do it now before I feel like it's going to be too difficult to move. I guess, maybe the older you get, maybe you feel more settled in your life. So I thought, you know what? It's either now or possibly never. So like many of you out there, I also thought 2020 was going to be my year. I was going to, achieve a lot of the things that I wanted to do, move to Japan. I'll be in Tokyo when the Olympics happen. It'll be an amazing year. At the same time, I thought, you know what? I will be able to work towards overcoming whatever challenges I may face. And I knew that, living abroad isn't always easy. However, none of us actually expected there would be a global pandemic. I never imagined such a thing. So at first, when I first heard about the pandemic, I thought, okay, it's just, it's not going to affect me. It'll be fine. And then as the months went on from, the beginning of 2020, January, February, I was like, okay, this is getting serious. But you know what? It seems that, Japan's fine. Like, Japan doesn't seem too affected by it at that time. It's okay, just a few numbers, whatever. And then it started getting more and more serious. In March, right before I moved here, it felt like every day I was messaged by a different person, either a friend or an acquaintance, asking, are you really going to move to Japan now? In the middle of a pandemic. What I had envisioned before moving to Tokyo was that my last month, I would be packing and meeting friends, doing maybe a few get-togethers with friends, and that's what I had originally foreseen. However, in March, I did not do any of those, of course. I was at home packing, but I did not see any friends face to face. I did do a few video calls with friends, but it was not how I expected it to be. I boarded that plane, and some of my friends here in Tokyo were a bit worried, is Mana actually gonna make it here? Because, and I don't know specifically time-wise, but I think while I was on the plane or sometime during the journey of me leaving and arriving in Japan, Canada was added to the list of countries that Japan was no longer accepting people from. I was a giri seifu. I just made it. Giri seifu, just made it. I was lucky. So I think that rule came into effect maybe a couple days later. I'm not sure of the exact date, but basically I really just made it into Japan before Canadians were no longer allowed. So I'm very happy to be in Japan despite everything that's going on. It's definitely been a challenging year for all of us, including myself. However, I am proud of myself for being able to move to Tokyo and make that step. How has 2020 been? Well, when I first got here, I had originally imagined my life being from the get-go that I would, be meeting friends and getting to know people, exploring Tokyo. Luckily, I do have friends here already, so I wasn't too worried about like not knowing anyone. I knew that I would be able to, message friends or whatever, but I didn't get to see anyone for about 2 months, not in person. So if I'm being honest, those first 2 months were very lonely. I was at home the entire time, like many of you. I know that's not normal. I was working from home, and the only conversations that I had was going to the grocery store and saying, "Hi, レジ袋一つお願いします。ありがとうございます." So that doesn't really count as conversation when you're just asking for a plastic bag. So definitely was very lonely because I do need my alone time, but I do very much enjoy social interaction. And a thing that I realized is that I love hugs from those I feel comfortable with. I guess before COVID, I'm very used to hugging my girlfriends and my family as a greeting, I guess. And that's why I will bring him later, but my rako-chan, so I could hug something. Yeah, because I didn't have a cat. I didn't have my cat. I didn't have my family. So that's what I did. Yeah, but things got better. So I was working from home for the first 2 months, and then we started doing staggered attendance in June, and we later worked to regular attendance, I think, by the end of June, so things were normal by July. Yeah, and then a month later, summer break, which was good. I got to see friends. I know some of you were asking like how to meet people in Tokyo, meet friends. I think I was very fortunate because I had already lived in Japan before. I was lucky because I already knew people in Tokyo. Once I started going out, I felt happier and some sense of balance was restored. In addition to meeting old friends, I was also able to make new friends in 2020 as well. Despite the unforeseen circumstances of 2020, I was very fortunate to move to Tokyo and experience all that I did. I hope that 2021 will be a better year for all. Thank you for watching. Let me know what I should explore in 2021 in the comments below. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more adventures. See you next time.